Welcome to Daily Life Connection as you join me and we consider who God is, how He operates, and what difference that makes in the way we live our lives today. I'm going to show you a couple of pictures today, just something a little different than we've been doing, and see if you can guess what my title for God is today. So here's my first one. Get it straight here. I know that's not real clear, is it? And that's on purpose. Let me show you another one, which might give you more of a clue as to what we're looking at today. And then finally, my favorite icon of this name for who God is. You might recognize it. Let me read from Daniel chapter 7, and I think you'll soon get it. Daniel chapter 7. Daniel's having a vision here, and he says, "As I watched, thrones were set in place, and an ancient of days took his throne. His clothing was white as snow, the hair of his head was like pure wool. His throne was fiery flames, and its wheels were a burning fire. A stream of fire issued and flowed out from his presence. 1,000,000 served him, and 10,000 times 10,000 stood attending him." I love the Ancient of Days. It's one of my favorite descriptions of God. I'm not sure why. Maybe it won't do anything for you, but for me, I just love that name of God. In our church, we have for years sung a song called "Blessing and Honor, Glory and Power Be unto the Ancient of Days." And that song, it stirs me every time we sing it. I just love the Ancient of Days. Wouldn't it make a great computer-generated movie? Wouldn't it be the thrones being brought in and seated and 10,000 times 10,000 angelic beings surrounding it, and the stream of, as the Ancient of Days comes in and sits on the throne, is seated, and streams of fire flow out from that throne, fire of blazing aliveness. The Eastern Orthodox Church, they interpret those streams of fire as being the fiery love of God, that burning, passionate, blazingly alive love of God. I just, I love that picture. I just wish I could do some kind of a computer-generated movie of that, so that we could just kind of gaze on that scene and delight in it. That Ancient of Days, it just, to me, it suggests eternity, eternal God, a God who is wise and powerful. You know, I'm getting old, and I'm not sure I'm wise, and I know I'm not nearly as vital and strong as I was when I was younger, but that's not true of the Ancient of Days, is it? Here's this Ancient of Days coming in to sit on the throne, not because he's weak, but because he is powerful and mighty and blazingly alive and vital and strong and glorious in his ancientness, and wise. And that's just such an awesome picture of God to contemplate on. I envy Daniel's vision on that one, don't you? And then if you read over just a little further in that same chapter, in verse 21, it says, "I looked, and this horn had made war with the holy ones and was prevailing over them." He said, I saw in my vision that the enemy of God's people was making war against them and was prevailing over them. But, he says, until the Ancient of Days came, then judgment was given for the holy ones of the Most High, and the time arrived when the holy ones gained possession of the kingdom. The coming and seating of the Ancient of Days is a time of grand rejoicing, because he is going to judge all things and make all things right. We are going to welcome that judgment, because he will make right all the wrongs against us. He will overcome every enemy of our souls and our beings. That's the Ancient of Days when he comes, the one from whom All things have flown. In Paul says it about, through him and to him are all things. The Ancient of Days, everything has come from him, and everything flows back to him, and the kingdom will be established and given to his people. Amazing, wonderful picture, isn't it? Love this Ancient of Days. It reminds me, when every time I think of it, of a song my mom used to play and sing. I can remember, even as a young teenager, as a kid, I can picture it in my mind right now, sitting in that church. Had stained glass windows, which was wonderful, and I can remember my mom playing "Come Thou Almighty King," and yeah, "Come Thou Almighty King, help us Thy praise to sing, help us to praise Father all glorious, o'er all victorious, come and reign over us, Ancient of Days." Love that song. That's my prayer. Ancient of Days, come reign over us. I invite you to join me today in praying that. Welcome the Ancient of Days to take his throne and to pronounce his judgments against the enemy and usher us into his glorious kingdom, experiencing that loving, blazingly alive fire of his presence flowing into the very soul and core of our beings today. Pray it with me. Ancient of Days, come. I welcome you. God bless you. We'll talk again tomorrow.